Hey guys, I'm Robert, and I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. And 2 days in a row, Misha back to the channel.
Yep.
He's on a bit of a streak here, but to be honest, I mean, if a lot of people have been complaining about me not making a lot of videos, and today we can thank BMW, right?
Yeah, and I can also thank BMW because I haven't had a holiday in like many years. And Robert got so upset. He said, "Dude, you gotta come over. You need to I need some emotional support." I'm like, "What's up? No, just come here." And me being a good friend, I just hopped in the car, drove over 1,000 kilometers, and here we are. So what's up? You want to talk about it?
I was just completely destroyed by this new BMW. I mean, I think what was about a year and a half ago, the rumors started coming out. I mean, we obviously started seeing the big grills in the 7 Series, and then X this and X that getting big grills and everything. And then people started making memes about the new M4 and the M3, and we're like, just putting these ridiculously huge grills on them. And then BMW, somebody there was like, that's a really good idea.
That gets lots of likes, but for the wrong reason.
Yeah, we should hire these meme creators to create our next car, and I think that's what they did. And so we just thought, well, let's sit down and make a video, give our impressions of the BMW, and really I think how it reflects the car market, and maybe we go there. But as a whole, what are your impressions of it as you've seen it over the last year coming around the Nürburgring and things like that?
Man, I don't even know where to start. It's obviously it is quite shocking. There are many aspects that we can look at. So first of all, I want to start by giving an example of Sonic the movie. Like when they first showed the trailer, the very first trailer, it has gotten so much shit from everyone. They said like
But they went and redid it, right?
Yeah, they went. It was gotten so much negative feedback that they said like, okay, we're sorry, we're gonna cancel it out. We're gonna completely redesign the character and we're gonna make it into a new movie. Now, when we look at exactly the same situation with BMW, everyone was giving them shit for this design. Everyone was saying like, guys, what the hell? This is just ridiculous. You cannot do this. This is like does not make sense. Like, no, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna proceed with it. While at the same time saying like, yeah, we listen to our fans, we listen to our audience. That's why we're bringing the 6-speed manual, and it's going to have pure version. It's still going to be a pure driver's car. But having said that, you don't listen to your audience because then you wouldn't do it.
Well, I think something interesting is that if you actually go on BMW's website right now, there's actual videos of this car being on different tracks and different directors and certain forms of management and design teams driving the new M3 and M4 on the racetrack. And one quote is, "We want to exceed our fans' expectations." Over the last year, all of BMW's fans have said, this is going to look terrible, please don't do this. And they did. They exceeded our expectations. We all said it was going to look terrible, and it looks like absolute
shit.
Yeah. And so they did exceed our expectations, but if you're going to use the statement that we want to exceed our fans' expectations, and your fans for 1 year have been saying, we don't want to see this is not the direction we want to go, please, people begging, please don't do this. They've seen this, they've ignored it, and they've pressed forward. This is the ultimate, we don't really care what our fans say, this is what we're designing. Now, I think that there's a certain point in automotive design that a company needs to set a new path. And hopefully we're all wrong, and BMW is just setting a new trend, and they're setting a new standard, and we're just not ready for it. Right? And maybe in 2 years we're going to be like, oh my gosh, please delete that video, this was the most amazing car that I've ever seen, right? But I don't think it is.
No.
I'm not attracted to the 7 Series. I'm not attracted to any of the models with the big grills yet, right? There's going to be a certain point where you have customers who just want a new car. And they're just going to buy the newest iPhone. It doesn't matter if it has 3 cameras, 32 cameras on the back, 1 camera. They just want the newest iPhone. And you're going to get BMW diehard fans that maybe will just say, you know what, I need a new car. The performance is what I want. I'm just going to walk around the back every time I get in it. I'm going to park it.
But BMW has also come up with something for that.
Oh,
have you seen the M Performance exhaust?
So if your stomach doesn't churn when you go around back, you can put this exhaust on. But so it really is the point where I'm baffled. I'm honestly baffled. Tom's hopefully inserting a couple pictures for you guys to see as we go. But the balance isn't there from the front of the car to the back of the car. The way the lines connect with the 2 little grills on the bonnet as they come matching the front openings, it just doesn't flow.
Yeah, and on top you have the cherry on the icing, the front license plate. Because that makes it look, okay, you have 2 big nostrils. It looks like a nose piercing, like a BMW. Why? This is just like, it's absolutely not thought of. Some manufacturers just don't give a a damn about like the front looks in terms of front license plate. Like, well, Supra is a good example of McLaren as well, LaFerrari. But in those cases, you kind of like, okay, it looks great. I'm not going to put license plate on.
The internet, obviously, you see in certain places where they give supercar owners or hypercar owners a hard time, and they'll say, "Oh, you just think because you know maybe have an expensive car that you don't need a front license plate," and that's not really the case. I mean, for me, I drive a T6 every day. It's got a front license plate on it. The reason that my T6 has a front license plate on it is because there's a space to put it. It doesn't bother me how it looks, and I drive the T6 every single day. If I were to drive the 675 Spider or one of these cars every single day, it would have a front plate on it because I don't want to get hassled every day. But if I'm going to drive the car once a month or 2 times a month, and there's not really a place to put the plate, then I'm not going to put it on, and I'm going to chance that once or twice a month somebody's going to say something to me, and then it's not going to be a big deal. But in an M3 or M4, that's a car you drive daily. That's a car that you want to get out and really enjoy. If you take your car on the Nürburgring, you have to have a front plate. Well, that means you have to have this god-awful looking plate sitting in the middle of your grill, as standard. And so, obviously, that just doesn't work. But there's so much to it. It's so complex. And like I said, I hope that we're just wrong and that this changes. And people come around to it. But would you buy the car?
To be honest, no. Because the reason for this, BMW M3 and as of last generation M4 platform has been offering the best driver experience in terms of car. When you go to the Nürburgring, which sports car are you going to get? You're either going to get GT3 RS, or you're going to get the M3, M4 and modify it, and then you have the perfect driver experience car. So there was never an issue with driver experience. Like you can also there you can go wrong in terms of xDrive because the new M3 is going to have standard xDrive unless you go for the pure version with rear-wheel drive. So you didn't have to improve on the driver experience. Like even if you're going to introduce some new technologies, people are going to be like, well, okay, cool, I don't need them anyway. But you can destroy so much in terms of design. And especially like you said, it's also a lot about what people think, what you think. So nowadays, the technology has come so far that the cars are great on its own already. Like already since E92, the driver experience was great. E36, people still enjoy it. So now it comes down to two things. It's UX, UI, so user experience and user interface on interior, where BMW also doesn't do anything significant when you compare it, for example, even with Audi. Or like Mercedes, the newest, latest S-Class, like with all the NVIDIA gadgets in there, it looks absolutely great. And then design features, I'm like, guys, why? So now I think, like, I usually give a lot of shit to like aftermarket companies who like for ruining the looks.
They do it for themselves.
I think now we're gonna have actually some good solutions to fix this problem.
Could be, yeah. So BMW's done the aftermarket thing, and now you got other companies that could try and fix it. For me, I won't buy the car. I think that a car needs to look good. I know a lot of people say stuff about the Senna. The Senna doesn't look beautiful, but it's functional.
Yes.
They did it for a reason. They said, we know it doesn't look good. We did it for a reason. That grille, probably half of it's going to be blocked off. There's no reason for it. Other than them trying to set a new standard, trying to blaze a new path. And like I said, hopefully it works for them. But you guys know that I've wanted E30, E36, E46, E92, F82, F80. I want the full BMW M collection with Schirmer. It stops. The F82 will be the last generation that I do. I will not buy this car and modify it because, first of all, I think it needs to look good, and it's something that it just doesn't interest me. When they came out with the Touring, or they said they were going to come out with the Touring, I was so excited. You make a Touring that so many people are going to be excited about, and then you make it look like this, and it tips the scale against it,
One last thing I want to say, when they unveiled the current 4 Series where the big grille was conferred, I was like, oh my god, this is ugly, this is hideous. And then they showed the M4 GT3 where it looked bad but still not that bad, and then you would think like, okay, well maybe the road legal M3 could pull it off, but now you see those things like no, like just hopefully it will grow on us,
it'll hopefully grow on us. But right now, I'm definitely not a fan. I think the biggest disappointment is that BMW saw the fans' reactions all along the way and ignored it. They didn't even acknowledge it. They're even gonna probably post a picture or video tomorrow and say the most beautiful M ever made. And it's not. And they know that their fans are not going to. So I got to close this out, and I'm going to close it out with this: BMW, good job. Everybody's talking about you. So even if this is a flop, no press is bad press, right? So people are going to be talking about this. This is probably going to be the most shared car as of recent, and it might be for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully that means that so many people are going to see it that they're going to start getting used to it, and their minds are going to trigger and come around to it. When the current F80 came out, right, the F80
Yeah.
came out, people didn't like it at first.
Mm-hmm. But we're not hating it.
They weren't hating it.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And every new model someone has to get used to.
Yes.
The 720S, Misha mentioned a moment ago, someone took a spy picture of it or a behind-the-scenes picture of it, and it looked terrible. People were like, oh my God, what'd they do? And now it's a loved car.
Mm-hmm.
People love the 720. It's a great-looking car, fast car, and no one really says it's ugly.
Fiat Multipla, on the other hand, was hated 20 years ago. It's still hated by everyone.
And the what's it called? The Picasso. There's
Citroen Sara
yeah.
Picasso. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also hated. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So those are hated cars. So maybe BMW is going to go down the Picasso and Multipla way.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't see it coming back.
Or maybe the future generation of the M3 and 4 are going to be like, oh, you thought that was ugly? Look at this. You're going to all love the current generation.
But guys, we're going to wrap this up. You comment below what you think of the pictures we've put in. We'll also tag where we got the pictures. I think that's all
Cars
fair.
Without Limits, and then it was shared later on Bimmer Post as well. Basically everywhere by now.
Right, so we'll share the links to where we got the pictures. You guys can check it out. But do tell us below, are we being too hard on BMW? Are we too set in our ways? Are we too stuck in the 80s? I don't know. Tell us
I'm
what you guys
definitely
think.
excited to drive the car to see how it
without a
performs
doubt,
on the track.
without a doubt.
But to actually like have it on the front.
Yeah, you don't want to get out of your garage or out of the house, go in the garage and see this thing sitting there. I don't. But anyways,
okay.
we'll catch you guys later. Hope
See
you
ya.
enjoyed.
Bye.